We're back! God damn it.
Hello guys, welcome back to Pokemon Red. Now you may have noticed last month there was not a Pokemon Red upload, and there's a good reason for that. As I'm sure you saw, it had to do with it being Harry Potter month, because Harry Potter's birthday is in July, so I decided that for that month it would only be Harry Potter videos. Now, the only reason that narration is necessary is because I am currently filming this in June. And if that information is incorrect, I will correct myself in using subtitles like I generally do. Because, you know, I was right. It is July 31st. So, cool. Alright, let's go. So, I'm still in that bad habit of not watching the previous video before I start filming, which I really should do so I remember what it is I'm doing. Actually, scratch that. I remember what I'm doing. We are going and catching a Snorlax, which is great because I need a Snorlax. Actually, I don't know if he's going to join my team or not. But at the very least, I am going to catch him because I want him. He will be mine. Ha 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 ha. Do 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 do. Oh, the simpler bike theme of Generation 1. Oh, the simpler everything of Generation 1. Ah. So Sword and Shield looks interesting. Keep in mind this is me from July, so I don't know that much. So I only know as much as I knew as of July. I think that says 19th. I'm sorry, June 19th, not July 19th. But I only know as much as I do as of July 19th. June 19th. Wow, I need to. Okay. So information might be outdated by now. I don't know. But I only know what I know as of this time, no more, no less. And hey, check it out, it's Snorlax. And of course the nice thing, like Mr. Fuji said, is that we can use the Poke Flute to wake up any sleeping Pokemon. So, I can use the Poke Flute in other battles, like in battle, and wake up my Pokemon, and not have to waste money on Awakenings. I'll still buy full heals for, like, everything else, but for Pokeballs, for sleep status, nah, just use the Poke Flute. It's easier. Cool, okay. I forgot I caught Rick Ghastly last time. Neat. Alright. And I noticed I did save before we started, and that's in case I kill it. Because I would prefer not to if I could get away with it. If I can have him stay alive... Oh, he started sleeping, of course. What else would he do? I need someone that will give him another status effect so he can't sleep. Preferably like paralysis or something. The best ones for catching are like sleep and frozen. But who can give him a status? I think I could poison him with Nidoqueen here. But yes, I want him for some possible Generation 2 shenanigans in the future. That's a big reason I want him. Yes! Okay, he's poisoned. Okay, good. He can't go to sleep anymore. LOL! Now he has no choice but to fight me like a man. And weaken him a little more. Okay. Now, I did research about Pokemon catch rates, and in Generation 1, when they hit about 3/4 health, there's no point in lowering it anymore. Lowering it anymore gives you diminishing returns on the likelihood of capturing them. So, I should just be able to capture them now. Or at least have just as good of a chance. And look at that, I caught him. One caught ball. I'm gonna give a nickname to Snorlax. There's a name raider in this generation, right? I'm not going to right now, but I might later. But I think for now, I'm gonna have to take him to the Poke Center so I can deposit him. Because I don't think I want him right this moment. So we'll go ahead and heal him up and stick him in the PC. And go from there. So, I've accomplished item number 1, which was to capture a Snorlax. Snorlax is going to be important later for reasons. And like I said, it might not even be until Generation 2 that I even use them, but I do want one. Okay, everything else here looks good. I got a Psychic, I got a Ghost, I got Nidoqueen, I got a Dugtrio. So the only thing I'm missing at this point is a Flyer. Something that can fly. But I have an idea for that. About who I want to use to fly. Which you guys will see eventually, don't worry about that. So by the fact that I'm still playing this on N64, I bet you could figure out that my acquisition of a... Oh, I thought there was a Professor Oak assistant up here. Weird. So I bet you can tell, like I was saying, that I didn't get a Game Boy Player. And you are absolutely right. I did not get a Game Boy Player. Sad but true. I really wanted a Game Boy Player, but they were sold out when I went to buy one. And people online want too much money for them. Like, it's really weird. If you want a Game Boy Player, you can have one for like $30, which is about what the shop is going to charge. Which isn't great. I would like to pay less, but if that's like the average price I'm going to get, then that's fine. I will take it. It's better than having no opportunity to get one at all. But what sucks about it is that price is without the disc. And if you don't know how the how the Game Boy Player works, is it needs that disc. The GameCube has to read that disc in order to boot a Game Boy game. There are ways around it. There is Homebrew you can use, but that requires you buying an additional action replay and one of those GameCube memory cards that just uses an SD card. Which, it's not like those things are hard to find, but it's extra money on top of that. So then you might be thinking, well, why don't you just get, the whole shebang and just, get everything you need? And the problem with that approach is... The problem with that approach is the fact that people want upwards of $60 for the disc alone. To get them as a set, I have not seen one sell for under $90 in the past few months. So, if I wanted to get the whole and complete set of both things, I would be, frankly, SOL. I would just be shit out of luck. There'd be no way for me to get it. Haha. Oh, dude, sick. I'm gonna have a Haunter already. And I like how in Gen 1, Ghastly looks like he has fangs. Like a vampire. And that Haunter sprite is awesome. If you remember Cool Kid, he actually has that sprite as a tattoo on his arm, and it looks sick. I might splice in a picture of it if I remember. Why should I give you my bike? You already have a bike. Use your own. Seriously. Look at his cod piece. Cue ball. Look at his freaking cod piece, man. Holy crap. He's packing. That's funny. Oh, man. Lol. Good luck trying to hit me, asshole. I forget, are fighting types weak to ghosts? I don't think they are. I think it's normal. Yeah, normal damage, okay. Luckily that seems to be doing numbers, so... Wow, okay, I must have hit the unlucky 1 out of whatever it is. No, it's just not working. Weird. Oh, was I trying to use Confuser? LOL! I was trying to use Nightshade and I kept hitting Confuser A. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh man, that cue ball sprite gets me every time and I always forget about it. And then I play Jinhwan again and I see that and I just die. Oh my gosh. That is the greatest thing. The sprites in Gen 1 are just magical. Especially when you get into like green version and it just has such a bizarre sprite set. It's honestly kind of horrifying. Perhaps I'll get one of those bootleg translated green versions and play it on Super Game Boy or something. Because I do have a Super Nintendo. I could be playing this on my Super Nintendo. There's two reasons I don't though. The first of which is I actually kind of prefer the N64 controller for Game Boy games. I really don't like the SNES controller, and I have not made that a secret at all. I've kept that very public. But, yeah, like the D-pad on the N64 is bigger. It's pretty nice. And even though this is kind of emulation instead of, whereas the Super Game Boy would be hardware, I don't know, it just feels better, like, in my hand. Like, I would not want to be holding an SNES controller playing Pokemon. And I know people would say that's heresy or whatever, but I really don't care. I'm the one who's playing, so it's up to me. The other reason I don't is because my only controller options are either a crap bootleg controller that just feels so jank in my hand I don't want to go anywhere near it. I do have one official controller for SNES. It's a Super Famicom controller though, which if you're familiar with those, the controller cable is only about 3 feet long. So I'd have to be like literally on top of my TV in order to use it comfortably. Kind of like how I was for Izzy. And, well, let's just say that's not a comfortable solution. So I need to find some good controller extensions or something. I thought about getting an American SNES controller. One where like the plastic's messed up so it doesn't matter, and then just swapping it into the Famicom one. Because the Famicom color scheme is actually pretty nice compared to the crap gray and purple box mess that we got in North America. Seriously, you guys in Japan who just grew up with the Famicom stuff, your guys' color scheme was so much better. But then it got to N64 and everybody was about the same, so, you know, it's swings and roundabouts, I guess. And I'd say, with the exception of certain limited releases, ever since the 5th generation, America has gotten a lot of the better color variants of things. Unless, of course, you count that sweet Spice Orange GameCube, which, to be fair, that's beyond, like, I can't touch that. That's in a league of its own, shall we say. But it really, really is amazing that that color variation exists. But I mean, I guess that's Japan for you. And of course, they like to keep what they perceive as the best stuff for themselves. Not that I can blame them, but you know. Like, there's some really cool Japanese Dreamcasts that I would love to have, but I'm not prepared to pay the prices people are asking for them. Like, I really want the Divers 2000 Dreamcast, which is the one with the TV built in. It's completely pointless, I don't need it, but it's cool. Like, it's just such a cool and unique variant on something I love. So it would be very nice to own. Even if it's like just for display purposes, I would love to have one. Like, if it just didn't work at all, I'd just be like, see, this has a Dreamcast in it. People are like, cool, let's play Sonic Adventure. Oh, wait, we can't. Why? It doesn't actually work. Oh. But really, though, before I even pursue that at all, I have to get more N64 controllers. I only have one. I have one N64 controller, which is annoying. I need more. Especially since I'm starting to get more games. Like, I just got a Japanese release of Mario Tennis and Donkey Kong 64, which I don't think you need to read anything to play Donkey Kong 64. I think I should be fine with that one being in Japanese. Mario Tennis also seems pretty arcadey, so I'm not worried about that. But, yeah, I mean, lol, I'm just completely OP in this area. Because everybody either has really weak poison type moves, which aren't very effective, or they're trying to hit me with, like, fighting and normal type, and it just doesn't do anything. No, I didn't. I went in front of you. How's that bumping you? But yeah, it's pretty nice. I do need N64 controllers bad, though, because one of the next things I want to get is Japanese Smash Brothers for N64. A Japanese copy of Mario Kart 64. Possibly Super Mario 64. I don't know if I'm going to bother with Super Mario 64, because I already have so many other ways to play it. I say so many other ways. I have it on the Wii Virtual Console. Whoop-de-doo. But it would be nice to play it with the actual like controller it was meant for. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to consider, you know. But also another thing I really want is I want to be able to hook two N64 controllers up and use both my transfer packs at the same time to like trade. I've always wanted to do that. Ever since a friend of mine was playing his copy of, I think it was Silver, on his TV in Stadium 2. I was like, you can play Pokemon on your TV? He's like, oh, you can do more than that. And he was telling me about some of the stuff you can do, and my mind was blown. Like, I was impressed. And then he got a Game Boy Player, and my mind was even more blown. Like, seriously, the amount I wanted a Game Boy Player from the time I was a kid to now is unreal. But everybody just asks way too high of prices for them. And it's like, yeah, I technically could spend this much and get one, but I don't know that it's worth it to spend that kind of money. It's expensive. It's a really expensive endeavor. And it kind of sucks, because it's like the only reason they're that expensive is because of people like me who want to Let's Play and record and possibly stream Game Boy games. That's the only reason they're so expensive. So in that regard, people like me and people who are better than me are my own worst enemy, because we collectively have caused that problem. And there's not a damn thing we can do about it, aside from just deal with it. And that really sucks. Just have to suck it up. And I don't want to, if I can get away with it, but at the same time, it's like, what else am I gonna do? Because it's not like, if I ever find a Game Boy Player in the wild, I don't care where it is, I'm going to buy it. Even if they want, well, okay, let me put it this way. If I find one for a reasonable price in the wild, I will buy it. Price is somewhat an issue, but it's not like if I see one in the wild and they want like $35 for it, I will get it, even if I could probably get it a little cheaper online, just for the convenience of having it immediately. I'm willing to spend that little extra. If it has the disc, that's even better. I doubt that it would, but if it did, I would. But GameCube seemed to be kind of rare in the wild. I've only encountered one, and it's currently in Henry's room, because his original GameCube died a poor death. I don't know what happened to it, but it is toast. It will not like the lasers just completely died, so we just e-wasted it and gave him the other one. Because the GameCube's common enough to where I don't mind getting rid of them if they're dead. Like, there's some consoles that are, like if my Dreamcast, for instance, if the laser on that died, I would feel obligated to get the replacement board that turns it from having an optical drive into being able to use an SD card. I would feel like that's something I have to do to preserve the history to it, because Dreamcasts are really rare. GameCubes, while not as common as PS2s, good God, if you go to a thrift store, you will see, like if you go to thrift stores even once a month, I guarantee you, at least 2 months out of the year, you will see 1 or 2 PS2s. They are everywhere. They are so common. So common. I am looking for another PS2 though. Like, if I can find another fat PS2, I will get it. Mostly just for redundancy's sake. So if something happens to mine, I will have a replacement. That's the only reason though. It's not because I have... Well, I mean, I do have somewhat of an attachment to the PS2 as a system, but compared to its contemporaries, it's, probably, at least in my opinion, the least important. Because pretty much anything on it that's worth playing is also on one of the other systems or on the PS3. And not to say that it's not worth having a PS2 at all. Don't get me wrong, the PS2 is a great system with a lot of good games, but it's the least essential. Like, if you look at exclusives that are on the original Xbox, so many of those were never ported. Never got HD re-releases. Nothing. Not to mention, if you want to play the games that were common in that generation and on different platforms, they're going to look best on the Xbox 9 times out of 10. There is the occasional GameCube port that will look better, but for the most part, the Xbox is where it's at. Then you got the GameCube, and you have Nintendo's usual policy of making a bunch of exclusive stuff for it. And they have ported some of the games from it. Not all, but some. So, I mean, the GameCube... But the GameCube's also got a special place for the Game Boy Player, which anymore I think is why most people would even want a GameCube. They don't really care about the GameCube games themselves, because they can play those on their Wii. And I think that's what most people use their Wiis to do, is play Game Boy games. I'm going to avoid a couple of battles here. But yeah, I'm positive that's what most people use their Wiis for, is to play GameCube games. And I don't really blame them, because the Wii is very accessible. There's a lot more Wiis out there than there are GameCubes. And hacking a Wii takes like an SD card in 10 minutes of your life. And then you can, if you're unscrupulous, you could pirate every GameCube game and stick it on there. And you would probably be satisfied. Whereas with the GameCube, you'd have to actually get the discs, or you would have to mod the system in some way. And modding the GameCube is a massive pain in the ass, especially compared to the Wii. And it's not because the GameCube was like has better security or anything. It's literally just because it uses those tiny discs. So if you're gonna hard mod the disk drive, it's a pain in the ass, because the GameCube is so compact. Taking it apart to do that is just, oh, it's a nightmare. I've had to take apart a GameCube once, and I wanted to kill myself by the end of it. It was so bad. It was so bad. Well, the only thing worse than taking apart a GameCube is taking apart a Wii, which luckily you don't have to do that to mod the Wii. You can just soft mod it and be good. Oh, nice, hypnosis. That's useful. But yes, it is a massive pain in the ass. And the only reason I would say the Wii is worse, because while the GameCube is compact and it has a lot of unnecessary screws, I'm gonna say, the Wii is compact, has a lot of unnecessary screws, and on top of that, you have to destroy like rubber feet and stuff to get to those screws. So it's just all around a bigger pain in the ass than it ever should be. I also recently have gotten into DSi hacking, which is fun, actually. I haven't yet figured out how to get the Game Boy Advance capabilities working. Once I figure that out, I will let you guys know. But DSi hacking is pretty great. It's like once you enable all the little homebrew apps that people have made for it, like there's a really nice Game Boy Color emulator, and it even lets you wirelessly link cable with other DSi systems, which is so cool. That is the type of thing that I would love. Don't throw the game, throw Pokeballs instead. Ha! Funny. Oh, okay. We'll battle again. But, also, I like how they're riding motorcycles on what's presumably not supposed to be a road for motorcycles. I don't know, maybe it is and I'm mistaken. But yeah, so if you have a DSi hanging around, there's cool homebrew for it. There's a lot of nice stuff you can do. One of the biggest things I was excited about was the fact that you can launch DS games from an SD card. So what that meant to me was I have a black DSi where the cartridge port just does not work. Like, you could tape a game in there and it will read it until it gets bumped a little, and then if it gets bumped at all, forget it. Game over, basically. So that mod meant that DSi didn't have to be thrown out. It meant I could actually use it again. And that was what was exciting to me. And then I also bought a DSi XL that works perfectly well, but I got it for 25 bucks. It's pink, and it's beautiful. But the reason I got it was so I could put my entire DS library just on the SD card and play all my games that way. Now, it's not perfect. There are a few features that don't work, Like, you can't do download play yet, at least not with you as the host. So, like, you can't say boot up Mario Party DS, which has an excellent download play mode where only the host needs the card. So you can't be the host and download play to other people yet. It'll just crash if you do that. But for the most part, it works beautifully. And I haven't exhaustively tested everything yet, mostly because I got my DSi in exactly the day before I was leaving on a big trip. And I do intend to do some more tests. Like, I want to see if Mario Kart DS works, because it has 2 different download play modes, one of which will, like, give the other players the game that don't have it, which doesn't work, because I tried it, and it crashes. But it has another mode where everybody who has the cartridge will just connect to each other and play wirelessly. So what I'm curious about is, if I do that with 2 DSIs that are both running the game from the SD cards, will it crash? Or if I interface it with a real cartridge, will that work? Reason being, because if you do it where everybody has the cartridge, you get more racers, you get more tracks. It's just a better way to play it. And Mario Kart DS is probably my 2nd or 3rd favorite Mario Kart game in the whole series. Only topped by Mario Kart 64 and possibly Wii. And then after that, I think it'd probably be 7 and 8. 7 and 8 to me are so similar that I just kind of confuse the two all the time. They may as well be the same game as far as I'm concerned. I know they're very different from each other, like, I understand that, but they are pretty much the same. Like, there's not a whole lot different between them. Aside from, like, some of the things. I don't know. But they're pretty much the same to me. And Mario Kart, like, the newer Mario Karts kind of piss me off because they get to be too, like, there's just too much. Like the kart customization and stuff is kind of neat, but it's too much. I just want to pick my racer, maybe pick a kart, and then go. I don't want to have to think about how choosing a different shape of tire is going to affect my turn radius, or I just want to go. I want a simplified, streamlined experience, and it just feels like the more iterations they do, the more ridiculous it gets. And, you know, I'm not saying that that's the only way to do Mario Kart is the way I described. Like, sure, you can do the more complicated stuff. I don't have a problem with that, and it's fun to do it every once in a while. But it's not what I prefer. So, like, people will bust out Mario Kart 7 or whatever, and I'm like, okay, sure. And because one of the big things that Mario Kart 7 does, it's just, I don't even know that it's 7, it might just be the higher CCs of Mario Kart 7, is it really feels like, I don't know if it's the rubber banding is a lot harsher than it used to be or what, but it's too fast. It's too fast. I can't keep track of it. And like I said, sometimes that's a nice change of pace to go to a drastically faster Mario Kart. Sometimes it really is, but sometimes I just want a kind of relaxing experience in Mario Kart. Okay, well, I say relaxing, I don't mean that. I mean more like just a, you know, neutral experience. Like, I just want to race. I don't want to worry about all this other bullshit that's going on. And if it's your favorite game, you know, more power to you. I'm not saying it can't be your favorite or anything. It's just, I don't know. I don't prefer it. Smash Brothers, on the other hand, I do prefer the newest entries to the older ones. So then you may ask, well, why do you want Smash 64 then, if that's how you feel? And the answer is pretty simple, and it's mostly that I just want to be able to go back to it if I want. Because I don't... It's not a game I would go back to a lot, but it's a game I might want to go back to. You know, just sometimes. How lof hefif I hafifi ho hefifui. Ah, ho hui ho ho ho. Ehe hui ha 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 ho. I wonder what he's saying. I have a feeling I'm gonna need to get the HM strength if I want to do much of anything around here. Oh, the fishing guru's older brother. Yes, I love to fish. Nice. Nice, I got a good rod. It means I can catch some good water Pokemon. But we're not here for water Pokemon. We're here for other stuff. What's up, Egghead? Alright, let's go to the Safari Zone, yeah? I think that sounds like a good time. We have a mission in the Safari Zone. Oh, do none of these guys have cut? Are you serious? Oh, crap, alright. I hope I can walk around. I don't remember if I can or not. Yeah, I can, okay. That's a relief. Oh, darn, maybe I can't. Where's my bike? This is unbearable. Man, I got really used to running in 3rd gen. Okay. So, we have a couple of missions. We have to retrieve the golden teeth. And we have to find Surf. Or Surf the prize. Or is it Strength is the prize? One of those two is the prize, the other one you just get. Like, one of them you have to find, one of them is the prize. Alright, let's go. And of course, if I find any cool Pokemon, I will probably capture them. And for some reason they thought it was appropriate to use the evolution tone here, which I have never understood the decision of. Parasect, not very interesting. I could evolve one of those on my own. Not interested. Fortunately, they are fairly generous with the amount of steps you get. Oh, I'm gonna get that. And even if I don't make it all the way through the first time, it doesn't matter. I can just buy more steps and do it again. Full restore. Hopefully this doesn't fill up my bag, getting all these random things. If it does, I'll just have to toss something. Paris. Bye. Doduo's cool. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever had a Doduo. Have some bait. Nice. Caught a Doduo. Dodrio has that cool tri-attack. Let's call it... Nice. Oh, wrong way. I do love Smash Ultimate though. It's pretty great. But I do have to reiterate and say that Smash is a party game. It's not a straight fighting game. And playing it it as a straight fighting game is extremely boring, and this space was meant to just waste my steps. Great. But yeah, it is a party game, and that is what it's best at doing, is being a party game. And playing it as a straight fighting game sucks. It sucks all the fun out of the game. But then again, I feel that way about most games. Playing them too competitively just makes them boring. Because at that point, it pretty much just becomes a battle of who's played it more. And once you get to that point, you know, it's just like, why am I even playing? Is this the right one? Deepest part. Okay. So I'll take that to mean I'm not in the deepest part yet. Okay. It's been a while since I've done this. You'll have to excuse me. At the very least, I'm going to get a ton of free items, which is always nice. And all for the low price of 500 Poké Dollars. Okay, I'm getting close. I found the gold teeth. What's that? Oh, I found the deepest part. Hello. Nice. Okay, so it is surf you get. I could not remember. How many steps? 24 steps remaining. Ha! See, even with all my little side trips, I was fine. I just gotta wait. There we go. I sure did. I got exactly what I came for. And let's check out Doduo. Because I think Doduo can actually learn fly. I don't think Doduo can, but I think Doduo can. I'll have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Either way, that's not the flying type we're adding, so don't worry about it. It's just Doduo is a Pokemon I don't usually catch, so I felt like having one. Here you go. I can't believe he lost his teeth. He has teeth made of gold, and he lost them. I hear you're the warden and you don't know what the prize is? What? Maybe that's just phrased weirdly. I don't know. But yeah, Safari Zone's not that hard. You just have to keep going. You can even like make stupid side trips and be fine. They give you plenty of steps. But the Safari Zone's going to be fun for all the glitches we're going to do later. Actually, I want to go in there and deposit some stuff. So, I guess really before I sign off for today, I just kind of want to say thank you to everybody who has been watching. Because even through my breaks, it's nice to know that people are still interested in what we're making here. And oh no, I did it again. But it's not. Yes, it's just nice to know people are interested in what I'm doing. So I enjoy being able to play games and talk to you guys. I don't make anything from it, but because believe it or not, all the rumors you heard of YouTubers are super rich, that's just not true. It really isn't. Okay, and then grab that hyper potion and swap it out. Not all that. But I'm even less likely to use that full store, so that's fine. Drag that up here. Alright, that looks good actually. Cool. Alright. But yeah, it makes a difference that people actually watch. I think if I started just like getting 0 views consistently, I'd probably stop. But the fact that people are still watching, and I promise not to become the new Masingo expert who promises a comeback and then does dick all. I do promise to actually make stuff sometimes. It won't be all the time, but I will make things. And I do have a few big projects coming up, and I am currently, at the time of recording, still job hunting. Who knows, I might actually have a job by the time you watch it. It's hard to say. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And, bye-bye.